But through you, that's one thing about your music, and that's one thing I love about you as an artist because you're so versatile within
Appreciate
your
it, man.
music. It's not just like you can label it as drill, or you can label it as pop, or you could. It's almost like timeless, worldly music. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? That's
bro.
gonna be around
Appreciate
forever.
that, man. And you know what's dope is like my new project that I was telling you about, like to the idea that I always try to make my music like timeless and not
Hmm.
feel like it's something that's in an era or in like a fad or a phase. It's
Right,
called Time After Youth. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like to kind of talk about where I am at my life now. But then also I feel like to touch on a point that you just brought up, I've always kind of felt like I wanted to create music and things based off of not the influence of what was around me, but more of what I felt in the moment. And I think that hip hop is like a pendulum and it moves in different directions. And
Exactly.
I think right now, like we're seeing it with Kendrick, like with a lot of people, there's a feeling where we don't want to hear so much victim music, but we also want to hear progressive music. So
Most
it's like
definitely.
somebody that's respectable to take the forefront, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to speak the things that we all know. Like we don't need a nigga to just come up with a million words and we also
Yeah.
don't need somebody that's just we just need somebody that's like, I take the responsibility to say what needs to be said. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's almost like some presidential type shit.
It is,
Put
and
out
that's how
music of
your music
substance,
comes
right?
out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
It's time for the shift though, and that drill music is starting to take a backseat, and it's time to
Yeah.
get back to that
Real
feel
essence of
good,
hip hop.
Hell
feel
yeah.
good, money making music of substance.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think it's interesting because, you know, I was just talking to my homie about this yesterday and it was blowing my mind because this is my music director. He's like the best producer. I know he knows so much music, but I was just telling him that, you know, and I was talking to Ebro about this as well. It's my brother at Apple Music. This was years ago with Ebro, but I was just saying there's a market that exists within hip hop, you know, based off the fact that you know, we signed, and I don't even want to say we, because I'm not. These niggas is signing. Now I can't even say these niggas. These people are signing. You know what I'm saying? Teenagers and folks like I grew up in the era of Keith where, you know, 16-year-olds was
Right.
looking like they was getting multi-million dollars for
Mhm.
doing something that seemed like it could be almost easily imitated
Exactly.
to an outside perspective or somebody that doesn't understand
The dynamic of
the
what they
dynamic of
really
what Keith
doing.
was actually doing and
Right.
how brilliant he actually is. And I think that caused this domino effect where even to today, like we way past the Keiths, the Dirks, like we passed even, you know, and shout out to all them, shout out to the Q50, all them. It's new people
New
every
people.
day. It's new look, and they younger and younger, and they getting signed. Like
Yeah.
people getting, and the ones that's not getting signed are getting famous or something to that limelight, or at least that's how people is associating it. That's around their age. So I was just telling them that market exists in hip hop, that shit don't exist in country and rock and roll and none of those other places. And I was saying because that market doesn't exist there, we gonna continue to push and continue to. So like for me, because Louis, that's like my big brother, King Louis, that's my big
Shout
brother.
out
So
Louis.
shout out Louis. And I remember I made this footwork record, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I want to get Louis on this because Louis has, you know, this era of folks that, you know, people don't even realize it, but you know, this nigga, King Louis make juke music. Like that was a whole thing. Like he had a different era of it, but he made that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Pac-Man.
Bro, heavy Pac-Man, like heavy. That was the
A lot
whole
of
shit's
people
how
don't
it
know.
originated, type
To
shit.
come
So,
to drill.
bro, so like I felt like it was only right to have him involved in it, and when we put him on it, it kind of made the record like a cross generational, you know, joint. Where, you know, it wasn't just about the young kids, it was also about the dope. Basically saying that to say, like, now you can see, like, shout out my cousin Mellow Bucks. She got Move, it's Top of Cars. Shout out Lil Mew, that's my artist I manage, you know what I'm saying? She doing her thing. It's a lot of different artists that I feel like have tapped into that body of work, and because they've done it successfully, now there's a lot of younger people that are making music to tracks that's not just talking about, you know what I'm saying, woo, 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 but they like, let me try this because they see somebody else getting money doing it. And I, you know, like that's how I like to think about things. It's not a lack of demand, it's a lack of supply. You know
that's where you and your generation of rappers that come in because they see it working for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They see y'all on magazines. They see y'all getting sponsorships and ads and getting flew across the world, whereas certain type of music will keep you in a certain type of box.
Oh, bro.
You
And
know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
like you touching on something that's super important. And I think like what's dope about it is like when you even think about like whether it's myself, Lil Moo, Mellow Bucks, like all three of us, we don't got major deals, but we have songs that have millions of streams, made millions of impressions, woo woo woo. And again, I think that comes from the idea of it being more about the supply and lack of the demand. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, no, it's an interesting, but it's a dope space, like you said, to be responsible and understand the impact you have, not just on people liking and dancing, but
Right.
actually progressing the conversation and the culture and the community.
brightening up entertainment, because it's been dark for so long.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I'm
it's
saying?
you know, like I'll tell you this is what's crazy. So what Ebro's response was to me saying this all these years ago was he said, well, it's not just, and I agree with him to a lot of levels. He was like, it's not just hip hop. He was like, people naturally want to see the unknown or dark things. They don't want to see that shit happen to themselves, but they want to see it.
Yeah.
So like if you create that level of entertainment, it's going to continue to be like a lot of people, they don't talk about this shit, and not to get too much in the weeds, but like a lot of minstrels were based off of cartoons, or cartoons were minstrels.
Right.
Like, and when you see like a cartoon character getting hit continuously and not feeling pain, like that ideology is based off of how they felt Black people inherited or felt pain.
Right.
That's some crazy shit. Learn that at Urban Prep too. Shout out to Urban Prep.
Wow.
But yeah, all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
So